or afternoon, as it is. Thank you so much for being here today. Judge Edwards and I are honored to announce the selection of John Hayden as our new police chief. John Hayden's a lifelong St. Louisan, a 30-year veteran of the police department. Many of you thought we were taking too long to find a new chief. Our thought has always been, we'll take as long as it takes to get it right. And today we got it right with the selection of John Hayden. In April, when we started this process, a reporter asked me, "What are you looking for in a police chief?" I said, someone with a stellar reputation, someone with a proven track record, who's both a good cop and a fair and inclusive individual, and who possesses the leadership skills to lead the department and to be a community leader. That describes John Hayden, and I am thrilled to have him as the chief of police. Judge Edwards.
Thank you, Mayor. Firstly, I want to thank Interim Chief Larry O'Toole. Chief O'Toole stood in the gap for us in a very difficult time. He's a very decent and caring man, and I'm very, very honored to have had the opportunity to work with him. Today, we've chosen the best possible candidate that we can choose. Now, Police Commissioner Hayden. I think that Commissioner Hayden has done a fantastic job as a major and as a 30-year veteran of the St. Louis Police Department. So we're very, very proud. Many have asked, who would be better, an inside candidate or an outside candidate? I've often said I wanted the best candidate. And today, we present to you the best candidate, Chief John Hayden. Chief.
First of all, thank you to Mayor Lyda Krewson and Public Safety Director Jimmy Edwards. I'm so honored and humbled that you have entrusted me with this awesome responsibility of serving this city. In the capacity of police chief, it is certainly a privilege that I do not take lightly, and I pledge to do everything within my power to fulfill your and the citizens' expectations. I also want to thank Lieutenant Colonel O'Toole, who served honorably as interim chief over the past several months. I also would like to thank my family and friends for all the support and prayers over the past several weeks as well. I spent the past 30 years of my life on this police department. I believe my love for this city, my experience, my work ethic, and my pursuit of excellence will serve me well in the new role as Chief of Police. Now I will answer some questions.
What's first for you, Chief?
Well, the first thing I'd like to do is sit down with my command staff, and we will work on violent crime. It's always been a challenge for us. It's been a recent challenge for us. We know that we're above 200 homicides, and so we're going to really work closely with neighbors. We're going to work closely with our officers. We're going to put more resources in the areas that demand the more challenging crime, and we're going to have comprehensively approach this, a lot more intervention as well. And we really want to do something that's going to have a meaningful impact and direct impact on crime reduction.
Why is community policing so important to you?
Community policing is important to me because it really involves neighborhood input in your challenges. And so what we want to do as an agency is we want to get back involved with the community very closely, get a lot of feedback from them. When people are trusting you, when people know you, they are always more willing to help you and certainly more willing to give you information on some of the crimes that you're trying to solve.
Is the department already doing that, or is that something that can be improved?
Yeah, we already are doing something. We have a lot of community-oriented efforts, but we are certainly going to increase those in the hopes that it will reduce crime.
Tell me what you mean by community-oriented policing. What's going to be done differently or emphasized more in your version of it?
Well, part of the challenge that we're going to acknowledge as well as address is some of the lack of trust that we've had with some of the community members, and so we're going to spend more time with them. I have a mobile office that I've used as a district captain, and I plan to use that citywide as a mobile office as chief of police, where you actually go to neighborhoods. Some people may describe a place where there's a lot of drug activity. I can actually sit that mobile office right there in that spot and get some feedback from neighbors and talk to people and send some community outreach officers to actually discuss crime with them and how we're going to prevent it.
How will you handle acts of civil disobedience, protests? Will you do anything different?
Well, some of our, as you know, some of our aspects of our protest response is under review. Some of it's under court review, and of course, some of it is under investigation. Hey, there were some things that we thought worked well during the protest, and there were some things that obviously didn't work as well as we would have liked. And so we will sit down amongst the senior team. We will also sit down and get neighborhood input on how that worked out. And so we're hoping to have a clear response to protests, as well as kind of working with protesters to get their input as well.
Chief Hayden, on June 20th, Milton Green, an officer was shot by another officer. And on that night, Chief O'Toole had stood up and given a public statement saying that it was during crossfire rather than by the actual fellow officer. You also stood next to him during that statement. Why did you stand next to him and not say anything about what had actually occurred that day?
Well, I didn't have any firsthand knowledge of what, Chief O'Toole was the person that was in contact with the persons on the scene. And so I was standing there as a representative of the agency, standing with the chief.
So you had no knowledge at all that the black officer was in fact shot by a white officer. The Ethical Society of Police has said that it would be nearly impossible for nobody who was standing up there to have known that that was not the case.
No, I understand what you're saying. No, I'm saying that I was not in direct contact with persons at the scene. I believe I was aware that it was a white officer and a black officer, but the circumstances that led to the shooting, I was not personally aware of.
Did you confront Chief O'Toole afterwards about what he had said to the media that night?
No, ma'am, I did not confront the chief of police about what he had said.
What are your general thoughts about how officer-involved shootings should be investigated?
I'm sorry.
What are your general thoughts about how officer-involved shootings should be investigated?
Well, certainly they should be investigated very thoroughly and honestly and competently. I know that I know as we read forward through Ferguson, there's a question about whether or not that should be actually conducted by other agencies, and we've certainly looked into that. And it also mentioned that in the interim, you might have some type of task force that the lead agency would be another agency, and it would be going toward restoring public trust.
Since you've been with the department for 30 years, you know this department. Is the crime we're seeing right now gang-related?
Some of it is, and some of it is not. And so we are doing a lot of background work on some of the persons that are regular offenders, and trying to get a better understanding of that. We've actually had some intervention whereby we've sent some of our undercover gang unit detectives to talk to families to try to get people to calm down. So some of the information is gang related, not everything.
Chief, there's been a lot of, as you know, distrust in the black communities, particularly since the Stockley verdict. What do you say to that community with your hire?
I'm going to say to that community that I am certainly going to be there. Like I said, when we talk about community-oriented policing, I believe in leading by example. I will be in a lot of those neighborhoods I'll start in a lot of the neighborhoods that don't have the level of trust that they deserve. And so, we take an oath. We have the authority, and we have a lot of training that really would indicate what we should be. We are held to a higher standard, and we should be, and we need to live up to that.
Chief, 3 of the North Patrol officers allegedly had beat another officer, Officer Hall, who was undercover and working at a protest that night. Do you intend to start an investigation on their actions that night?
Yeah, I understand that matter is already under investigation, but certainly I'll be there to watch the process of it and to make sure that it comes to the.
Internally, it's already under investigation internally or with the FBI?
I understand it's under investigation with both, but what I'm sharing with you is that I will be there to make sure the process occurs properly, and that I will be there to make sure that all the proper decisions are made as the investigation progresses on our end. Of course, I won't be able to do that on the FBI's end.
All right, Chief, we got one last question.
Chief, what was your first response when you learned you were the chief of the city of St. Louis?
It was pretty overwhelming. As we talked, I was trying to actually, it was surreal. I kind of felt like, well, is this true or not? But certainly I began to realize that I am going to be the chief, and in fact, and have a whole lot of responsibility, and certainly consider it a blessed challenge.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Y'all come out behind the podium and take a picture on the side right there, please, behind away from the podium. Thank you very
I
much.
think we could do that. Sure.
Thank you very much, Madam Mayor.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you all, appreciate it.
Okay.